So, going to give you guys a little progress update on the Turbo C10. We've come pretty far so far. Just been at it a couple nights. I don't have a whole lot of time over here, but so far we've got, I showed you guys last time this up pipe, got it notched, got that notched, welded together. None of it looks pretty. This is 2 or 3 passes with the little Chinese welder on all 3 of these, just because I wanted it strong. Because the entire weight of this GT45, bigger than it looks, is on this one header. So I don't want any issues caused by that. So I've got pretty much everything finish welded as far as this goes. I'm going to be making a oil feed plate because I ordered an ICT billet. ICT billet feed and an ICT billet drain. Excellent company, great quality products. The one problem I had was, I think it changes with manufacturer. Some have a regular size oil drain, the same size, like same bolt pattern as the feed, or as the drain I mean. But some have a smaller feed, like this. And I got the one with the smaller feed, didn't know that, and ordered the big bolt pattern feed. So I cut out a little piece of aluminum. I'm going to finish shaving that down a little bit and then drill and tap it. Just 1/8 inch NPT. And then I'll hop underneath, show you guys how I'm connecting from the other head. The crossover underneath, how that's going. Developed a trans leak while sitting here. Don't know what that's about. Started leaking from the pan. It also seems to, because I let it sit for a few weeks, it seems to have gone through another front pump seal, which is very irritating. But I'm going to 5-speed swap it, so it's not too big of a deal. And then yesterday I picked this up. It's only 3.5. These flanges are for 4-inch, but it'll work. I'm gonna have to hood stack it. There's not really any way to do a real downpipe on a budget with this, because I'd have to come out, because you guys can see how cramped it is going through the frame now, and a pipe this big won't fit. And if I do an actual downpipe, it's gonna be 4-inch. So I'd have to come down, hook probably a 45 in here, go straight down, and then I'd have to run it between the body and the frame, which I don't really want to do. Or I might come down with one and hook it straight out there. Cut a hole in that fender, hook it straight out there. But this will work for now. Just one hole in the hood. This isn't a nice hood, nothing to be ashamed of. And this turned out almost a foot, I'd say, taller than I expected it to or wanted it to, because I didn't have much room to do anything with this. I can't cut this down really any, because it starts to square right in here, which is the easiest place to get these turn downs to notch. I'll show you guys the other turn down. I had it all set up. I'm hand notching all this stuff, so you can see it's messy, but it cleans up well. Hit it with a grinder or whatever. This one I notched backwards, so big notch is supposed to go on the top. I made a little paper template, wrapped it around, got to cutting, and then realized I cut it backwards. That is meant to go at the same degree, but upwards. So there's no way that would work. So, wasted a $3 turn down, no biggie. But got that notched and welded, and there's not really enough room. I don't know if I can show the angle. I can. Right back in here, in that little pedestal, where the bottom of the pipe is, there's only about 1 inch down to the header flange. So I could have shaved about 1 inch right here out of this pipe, but it would still be sticking up. So I just left it at the length I had it. So it was already cut at the right angle for meeting this header and keeping the turbo level, because that shoots out at a weird compound angle going this way, and it's canted forwards like that. So I had to cut sort of a compound angle on that and had to aim it correctly to make the flange square. Kind of a pain, but should be pretty cool. Again, guys, this is my first turbo build, so Not going to be anything spectacular, but it's going well so far, and it seems to be plenty strong. I got some flex in the header, but a lot of that is, I don't know if you can see the motor moving, but a decent amount of that is the rubber motor mounts that are in it, which I'm not a huge fan of either, but you know. So today I'm going to be finishing that drain. I got to get that down there, drilled and tapped for the drain. I might even just drill a hole in it and put the fitting in and weld it into that, just to try and prevent any leaks and get more of an angle on it so it flows out easier. Because this small block makes, I'm running a big block standard volume oil pump in it, which is a thing you can do. I didn't know until I built this one. The small block and big block oil pumps are the same exact flange. You can run a big block pump in a small block. You can't do it the other way. The small block pump won't flow enough. But this thing at idle makes 60 pounds of oil pressure. And under light to medium throttle makes about 70. Heavy throttle makes 80 psi of oil pressure. So I'm worried that it's going to be feeding too much for this drain to be able to handle. So I'm going to try and get it to flow as good as I can. I guess it's not a bad thing if it sort of builds up a decent amount of pressure in here. I just don't want to try and force that in and really, really pressurize it up to like the 60 to 80 psi this thing will put out. So I'm going to try my best to circumvent that. But even if that happens, it's not that big of a deal. It'll probably be fine. It's a journal turbo, so it probably needs it. And then, so I added a single wire O2 sensor. I'm just going to go narrowband for now. I know it's a terrible idea. I know it's going to be lean, or not lean, but it's going to be inaccurate. I just need to make sure it's not lean. That's the only thing I need to know. I'm not super worried about exactly how stoichiometric the ratio is right now. I'll get there eventually, but I don't want to bust out the kind of money for a wideband right now. I'll get to it eventually, just not at the current time. And then, all right, guys, so got it all mocked up. Got the up pipe notched. Ignore those holes. Then I tacked it to this. I'll climb under real quick, show you guys how I'm going to do the crossover. Here's one of them. This, I'm not a fan of. I'm going to redo this because I don't like how far necked down these pipes get. That it's just not going to flow that good. Not too big of a deal right now, but we'll see. So the way this is going to go, so I'll show you this side. It's going to be tucked up closer to the trans when it's done, but that's still hand tight and all that, so wait a minute. Oh no, that's the same leak. Okay, we're good. It's still leaking for some reason though. That's not cool. And it's very, very greasy. This was not that greasy not that long ago. I just did a shift kit in this thing right before I stuck it back in, but it's leaking from everywhere. It's a cheap O'Reilly gasket. I don't know what I expected, but not that. But anyways, cheapy header comes down, neck's down 3" to 2.5, because everything I had to do up here was 2.5. So you can see that's the bottom of that up pipe. It fits well, it clears everything well. I'm really happy with how it turned out actually. So hopefully that can stay exactly the way it is, because I'm very happy with the fit. This, I'd like to get it closer to the pan, but if I can't, oh well. And then I'm actually about 4 inches shy of having this done today, because this is going to go in up here. Oh, come on. Up that far. And then gotta twist it a bit, but you can see how this is going to go together. Should go together fairly nice, and still get some length out of both of them. I'd like to cut that down and re-weld it. It's only contact. So just gonna get them line up a little better right now. Like, none of this is really finish welded, but all I need is the small piece to go between those two, and this thing will be done. Like, done. I'm really happy with this. It's gonna get the trans pretty hot, which I'm kind of worried about, but you know, we'll deal with that when the time comes. I still have access to the converter. I'm gonna do right in the middle here another collector flange like that, so that I can drop the whole Y pipe out as one and pull the up pipe. I guess this isn't a Y pipe, it's a crossover, but it's like a factory Y pipe. I'm gonna put the collector flange right in here so I can unbolt it, pull the whole crossover out as one piece by unbolting from that header, unbolting from there. The thing will come out, and then I could just take that header up there off, pull everything up out. Ooh, I got a melted fusible link. This header's fucked all sorts of shit up. There's a screwdriver sitting in one the other day. I think I have a leaky trans fitting. I just have a leaky everything in this trans, actually. But, made decent progress today. I'll keep uploading progress. I know a lot of people aren't watching this, but oh well. I'm not looking for a ton of views or anything. I just want to kind of document what I'm doing in case anyone has the same idea. This thing is dirt cheap. So you can see I'm using recycled parts, old school setups, you know, flat tappet, high lift, low duration cam, which the intake's going to kind of kill that. But I'm hoping with the added air, it's going to boost the low end torque enough that I don't have any major issues using that combo of intake and everything. Should work out okay. We'll see. Still need a wastegate. I think I settled on which one I'm gonna order. I think I'm gonna do a 50mm wastegate with a just dump straight out the side up there right below the turbo. I'm not sure if I'm not gonna run a blow off valve. This thing's cheap. So let's get to making that oil feed plate. As soon as I find it. Oh, it's right there. So that's the plate I'm going to be turning into it. It was a piece of just flat stock. It's just held down with these. I don't know yet if these are metric or SAE. I imagine they're metric. It's a China turbo, but it may be 5/16. I don't know if I have an actual 5/16 bolt here to try, or a nut, I mean. Actually, I'm sure I don't. I got taps and dies though. I'll figure it out. Just for anyone that's wondering, these GT45 feed and drain threads, they are M8 by 1.25. And they are threaded all the way through. The threads don't go into the oil passages or anything, which I'm happy about. This thing definitely need chased. There's something in there, some little barb of something. You guys can see how much that just pushed out. So, definitely say the quality isn't quite there. But, you know, easy fix. The other side's fine, so they might have just had something in the machine, because I don't know, I doubt they have anyone hand tapping these, but you never know. As you can see, let me see if I can get that to focus with something in the background. So you guys can see how much crap is built up in those threads. Not a big fan. Let's see how a bolt threads in there now. We wouldn't even go in more than quarter thread before, but now look at that. Nice and smooth, easy, just like it's supposed to be, all the way through. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now, all we're waiting on is wastegate, which I'm going to shoot off right here. Well, a little wastegate V-bend on there, have it coming out this way. Probably just have it exit down. And then, waiting on a 3 1/4 to 4 inch adapter, and all I'm doing for cold side is a 4" 90. Straight to there from that guy. Nice and simple, nice and easy. And then I'm going to drill. I'm wondering if I should do it further out. I'm going to have to. I'll drill further out here for the methanol injection, right in the top, just so we get a nice even pull and a distribution. That might be an issue. I might have to do one on each side, or one front, one back. We'll see. For the methanol supplement. But I'm excited. This thing's getting pretty close. I just got to go through. I'm going to relash the valves while it's here. And then clean it up a little. It's got a valve cover oil leak. Just small stuff. And then let's see if we can fire it up. I'll fire it up no wastegate to see what it sounds like. Might not even have the narrow band in yet, but it'll be fun. Alright guys, a small update. Got the drain all mocked up. I'm just going to the fuel pump block-off plate. I went and I used a 304 stainless okay, that was a terrible shot. I will do it. It's what I had, a 304 stainless 1/2" NPT by 1/2" barb into the block-off plate. I drilled a big hole in it and just welded it in there, and then ran a mock-up hose up to the drain. I think that's going to work pretty well, actually. I'm going to have to heat wrap it, but should work all right. And then we got that plate made, so tomorrow throw that plate on, throw the gasket on my feed line, which is going to be coming from right in there. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you definitely can't see it. There's a rag in the way. Let's see if that, you guys can see it. It's going to be kind of a pain, but that socket head screw right there on the right, or it's not a socket head, but whatever. Take that out, thread in an AN 8th NPT 2-4 AN. Come straight up behind the alternator, over and in. And then this thing will be oiled. I'll get that finished up. Not quite sure how I'm going to final route that, but we'll see. So I'm going to have a ton of heat wrapping to do. But it's coming along pretty good, actually. Got it mounted. Got it welded. These look like shit, but they'll work. And then, yeah. So I'm impressed with this eBay Turbo. There's no shaft play. There's no shaft play to speak of at all. In, out, nothing, up, down. There might be the slightest hint of movement, but that'll get taken up by oil, so I'm not super worried about that. And nothing to where anything hits if I put axial load on it either way, so we're in good shape. I don't really like this cast wheel. Hopefully it stays together pretty well. It's balanced, so that's cool. But not a huge fan. I don't know if anyone makes billet wheels for these. I'm not even going to go that far yet. It's probably just going to blow this thing up as soon as it starts. But we'll see. You just have to see. And I will pick up a filter for it. I don't know what yet. I might come out and go down with something right in here. Because I don't really like the look of a filter sticking straight off that. Need to look dumb. Because, you know, the rest of this doesn't look dumb at all. Alright guys, so I have some shitty news. Lost some footage. Mostly just the final assembly stuff. I think I still have footage of me building the crossover and getting it all bolted up. I hope. I know I at least have video building the rest of that stuff, and then made a shitty boost reference regulator, just cheapo Holly with a fitting in the end. I've started this a few times, driven it a tiny bit, melted the oil drain in half once. I haven't really done much with it at all because I'm running no wastegate, no blow-off valve, charge pipe isn't bead rolled or anything. Runs out of fuel over 10 pounds of boost. There's a lot of little stuff, but figure I'll show you guys just what it's like now. Turbo's on, plumbed, it runs, it makes boost. It's kind of sweet. I put a master kill switch because I got some electrical gremlins. I'll just put that in the fender for now just to be easy. But yeah, see if this thing will start. Fuel pump is not happy. Not very happy at all, but oil pressure. So I got to put a bigger converter in it. It's just got a Vega converter in it for now. It's still a little tight. It builds boost quick with a decent amount of timing. It's got good fans, good fuel pump. But yeah, that's about where we're at now. So I'll splice this into the footage I still have.